As always, I am not messing around. This video has truly underrated games because they are literally underrated. Unlike other channels that claim to highlight hidden gems and go on to point out games like Lethal Company or Fortnite, all of the picks in this video have under 500 reviews on Steam. Because once a game crosses that threshold, it typically starts to become more well known. Also, these games have at least an 85% rating on Steam, making them at least well regarded by the few people that have played them. I have a good variety of genres and different types of games in this video, so if one of them doesn't grab you, hang on, skip ahead maybe to the next one, because the next one might just be a perfect game for you. I'm all about not wasting your time, so let's just get right on with the games just after my sick new logo.
Can you hear me? The shadows are dangerous.
First up is Lightmatter, which is a first-person puzzle game that I've covered here before, but there's a bunch of new people here, so I figured I might as well cover it as a part of this series. Think Portal, but instead of portals, it's all about illuminating darkness, which has been transformed into something that acts more like lava than solid ground. You play as this ambiguous visitor to the Lightmatter facility, and you're being berated constantly by this sarcastic CEO. In a way that's pretty similar to like GLaDOS in Portal. If you're into clever puzzles and some light humor, this is definitely worth checking out. Zet Zillions is a game that was actually recommended to me in the comments of the last few videos, and yeah, this game is incredible. It's a blending of awesome sci-fi anime like Gurren Lagann with a roguelike deck builder. It has a solid card-based battle system that allows for a lot of flexibility because it has the ability to fuse your cards. So if there's one card that's not going to be useful at this exact moment, you can combine it with something else and turn it into something that you actually might be able to take advantage of. Structurally, it's pretty similar to like the tree-based exploration that you'd see in something like Slay the Spire, but this one allows you to go back to nodes, giving you more of a FTL-like freedom. So for strategy, tons of personality, and like endless replayability, make sure you give this one a shot.
Welcome aboard, Kami!
KILLBUG is an arena shooter where you're up against endless swarms of bugs, and you have to see how long you can last. It's a total blast learning the best tactics to take on different types of bugs, and figuring out the most efficient paths to navigate the arena. The gameplay is fast-paced, fluid, and has some solid shooting and movement like big jumps and wall runs. If you like Ultra Kill, Devil Daggers, and even maybe like the mobility of Titanfall or Apex, this one is definitely worth taking a look at. Dad Quest is a 2D action platformer with a Metroidvania-style map where you use your child as a weapon. You can toss your kid at enemies and use them as a bludgeon for melee bashing. It might seem a little bit brutal, but they don't complain. They don't seem to mind. There's a wide variety of customization options that you can find around the map that allow you to enhance your kid and make them into a more daunting weapon. Overall though, the game's not too hard, and it's really just a jolly time. The one weird thing though is this game doesn't have like a visible map that you can pull up, but you probably won't get lost anyway because it's not too difficult to navigate. If you're looking for an offbeat game, Dad Quest is definitely worth taking a look at. Dros is a Zelda-style top-down fantasy steampunk game where you play as a slime named Dros who takes over the body of a bounty hunter. You can switch between the bounty hunter for combat and like classic Link-like actions, and separate into Dros on their own for sneaky tasks and more vulnerable moments. The main objective is to ascend a tower, but there's plenty of visual variety within this single location, so don't be afraid of being bored by the same tower. It's filled with puzzles and has this diorama-like level design that's pretty reminiscent of like Captain Toad. If you're a fan of Zelda-style games, Dros is definitely a game you shouldn't miss. Rack and Slay is a billiards dungeon crawler roguelike. You clear tables of enemy balls with a limited number of shots, and any balls that are left on the table after you're out of shots, those will end up damaging you. To complicate things, the tables are filled with hazards and special enemy balls with unique attributes. Making every shot count with strategic planning is pretty important. Between tables, you can choose between a variety of useful boons to help you on your run. But don't be put off because you might have a lack of knowledge of billiards. It's mostly just a theme on top of a great roguelike. It's similar to how Balatro used poker. For strategy and a bit of physics chaos in your next roguelike, give Rack and Slay a shot. Pain Party is a mix of Souls-like difficulty and Wipeout-style obstacle courses. You get the dodge rolling and kind of game feel that you'd get out of a Souls game, combined with the chaotic fun of Fall Guys. It's both fun and frustrating, with a low-poly, low-res visual style that's cohesive, and I think it looks pretty nice. It's also got multiplayer, so it can be a fun time with friends. This might just seem like streamer bait, but this is like a rare one that actually delivers. For a real challenge, check this one out. Remnants of Naezith is a precision platformer that boils down to spikes and grappling. And that's all you really need for a trial and error speedrun game. I really appreciate how this game uses a smaller character size than normal, which works on these modern, large, high-resolution screens we have now. In the CRT days, characters had to be larger for readability. But with today's high resolutions, bigger screens, it feels like games still use those old standards that seem to have just calcified. The scale here allows you to anticipate obstacles at a higher speed, and it's a smart design choice that addresses a common issue with many 2D Sonic games. For those who love tight platforming challenges and speedy gameplay, this game is definitely worth checking out.
Remnants of Naezith.
Hellblusser is a simple first-person dungeon crawler from Sockpop who have become regularly appearing developers in these videos. You wield a sword and can absorb fire from the environment to blast it out at enemies. Each level has limited fire on it, so using it wisely becomes pretty crucial. The game's sketchy art style has a distinct, charming Sockpop look, and for fans of straightforward dungeon crawlers with a cool visual flair, Hellblusser is definitely worth checking out. The Shadow King is a micro-Metroidvania from Johan Pietz, a favorite developer of mine who's known for his polished, small-scale games, this being a Pico 8 gem just like his other games, but it packs the Metroidvania essentials into a neat 1-hour experience. The premise is that you're going to be exploring a castle on your way to take on the Shadow King, and the game nails the fundamentals while keeping it short and sweet. If you want a quick, polished microdose of a Metroidvania, the Shadow King is definitely worth your short amount of time. REKT is a high-speed stunt car game that is very Tony Hawk meets Rocket League. It has the stunt and combo-based goals that are really similar to the earlier Tony Hawk games, and it has the Rocket League-style vehicle control with air control so you can pull off stunts. It's easy to pick up and play, so it's a good choice for anyone who wants something fast-paced.
REKT.
Tiny Breaker's Camp is basically Breakout meets roguelike, but with a fantasy twist. You smash your way through enemies and walls to gain upgrades for your camp. It's like a chill, pixelated adventure where you pick a hero, level them up with gems, and, you know, if you're into old school brick breaking or just want a laid back game to unwind with, this one could be great for you. Strawhart is a first-person puzzle game, kinda like Portal, but with a touch of cult builder. You bend reality and chuck pumpkins to solve puzzles, and help your scarecrow buddy build a cult by recruiting cult members. It's an offbeat game that's all about smart puzzles and lightly dark humor. Puzzle lovers who dig a little creepiness, this game's for you. Then we have Sunshine Manor, which is a action RPG that is themed like an 80s horror movie. It's got clean pixel art and you play as a girl named Ada who can see and talk to ghosts. To save her friends, you gotta run around a haunted mansion doing tasks for ghosts. It's sorta like Link's Awakening's trading quest, but with ghosts and a creepy vibe. Don't be fooled by the cute art here though, this game still is pretty spooky. It's perfect for people who love creepy stuff, but don't necessarily want to pee their pants. Alright, those were some more awesome underrated games on Steam. As always, make sure you wishlist anything that stuck out to you even if you're not planning on buying them immediately. Wishlists can go a long way to help developers rise in the ranks. And on a similar note, make sure you check out my other stuff if you like this video, and do all the YouTube-y stuff like subscribing because it really does help a ton. I'm currently messing around with formats, trying to figure out what works best for the series. I'm currently weighing shorter, more frequent videos that are like this one, or possibly going back to making big long ones again like the very first one in this series. But currently I don't know where it's gonna land, but it's always good to experiment, I think. I hope. Also, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Shabello, who has designed my sick new logo that I have all over my channel now, and I really appreciate it. It turned out so great. But yeah, anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching.